Hello, building systems, passive income, business opportunities, unlimited business opportunities in Ghana. Passive income in Ghana, how to invest in the Aboboyaa or Pragya or Okada business, transportation business. That's why we are here. Inti sene, wabe share a business way, and also wabe share a video ya memo wakwaba. Onyirai, no matter what business opportunity be a offer more anyi.
Mr. Chan, Patrick Kasai and Tio.
One thing. But what we can more mommy or comment session as
Miti unka. Ajali kana jinsh.
Okay.
Okay,
me mamu nyina akwa ba menim semu ye mu bi mo share problem se wo saa ne mai ho
my joining
me share mo bosse problem we na mu share ye no ye nuan mu e the system bi to impress ya o mo pese o mo ne de e be share enti se wo sika bi wa pese de investment ya tie de o mo beka wo adapt bi a wo bi a chiri wadwen bia bra na be chire na be busa na wo wi a why your diligence na oni o man yede eto anamo ayede abo me mamu nyina akwa aba se ne no first and share SOS ya subscribe to YouTube channel no like video no na share ma foforo. We are building systems, don't be left behind. Madam Wase boss Naziru me bajo me chiao
Chasi me chiao
boko de
chiao bia so a wo share program no bibia boko.
Wow.
Let me say, I share her chair, and you know, unse me who me laugh ya damn me some opportunity appear, they be a me boy tree.
That's it. That's it. Me pache wa baby ya Mr. Muma yehu baby ya buti ye free na Muma yehu se mu experience bi wo Aboboyaa, Pragya, Okada, any the transportation system na ewo fie na Muma yehu because this system na omodi aba no eya there share from Pragya, but what I know say ebeko to the extent say cover every transportation system maybe e Ghana. I don't know. Moma me hu ba bia mutie ye free na mu experience bia so a moma ye hu comment section ase na mu question bia so a enche bia me the link ba betum yada mase moma ye share video no so. Okay. Senior Abubakar bache mo akwa ba.
I knew as well. Thank you.
Me ji se ho ye.
Ya me adom here pa so ho so here.
Ya me adom boko. AJ Motors General Manager, I salute you, boss. Samanka General Manager na menim samanka General Manager na ma wan hwe na ja me di mi so sika ba what media dey over function. Okay. I was here for yo, Mommy Mary from UK, watching from UK, Mr. Ferris from USA, Mr. Emmanuel, greetings from Tema Community 2. Sa Tema edi me say I'm at the year me di many baba be home Tema. Any wu se me nim Tema. Any wu as a Ghanaian minim Tema. But at the year me baba. Mr. Say bright, ye chiao. Nana mama abena, na min shiraw. Akra say nanko hene, ye chiao pa. Mami Mary J. Organic cassava farming manager no owner ye chiapa ye da munyina ase moma ye hye dwumadi na ase Mr. Naziru.
Yes boss.
Wanya kokodro oso oni ebedi nkomo enkomo ya oni ebedi no ye mududu na no ye ko hye sa problem bi da ebi mu wo sa problem nim a o mu mfiri mu wo so se wo the same opportunity na ebre edi enti na wo se wo pese wo ye mra me invest ewo wo Pragya business mu.
Okay. Yeah, meaning so say me pani our SOS so say yeah meaning problem obi mo a ma ko invest in some stuff you know a ma lose your musika na result a mo hwe no you know ma ntimi anya Now, so concept we different. Me bra Abubakar na di me shame already or experience that. Me pese me kasa about number of machines or no or low key me na me true new ha. But you know, he has vast experience in idea. Yeah, ba be share no. With A&G with transportation so we are investor. Baby, like you feel like you know you are part of the operations because baby, bet me monitor baby our machine your and the me be my story say when the machine anye adwuma o ana driver no yari kura beba be parking motor no wasan no yari ana by for motor no back now I start say wo ye adwuma. So with this concept you know different. So inti na me so me nya avim say you know meba be hwe me so me wo machines no bi wo mu so we, you know experience me ya no so far you know no problem bi inti na ma twu no say you know I know say yen nyina ya wa abochire because of obinda akoso obi a pese onye bi ofi ansa na wa you know wa sisa ni nyama akọ. Intina me say okay, I'm be share idea or how no because I know say there are a lot of people that one person or be invest or be you know a beba you know one be nya sika kakra bi. And I say okay, my embra and share the ideas, you know, maybe there are people out there who are willing to, you know, chip in and invest in the idea. So intina or how no.
Wow. Ebusiafo said the Mr. Naziro kan no oyobi a ono the SOS no o kan no one time show up but me immediately me so we dey o wachire na no ofre me ono me kasa wo say na chale na no akwai comment o ma ki kra no ofese we dey how mu say hey boss osmi dey me hwe video bi am hwe comment nti me sere mo ada mo hwe video na ya mo ntwere comment because Mr. Naziro need the answer on the comment no already. Or she video we are commenting already no who said the ecoso answer ecoso and say encoso eti yeda wase minim say yen nyina obi a wo bad experience was business we say mo but ene me pese mo me the bad experience ni to nchen na ye change another page ye might new era because before say ye sha say kra no ye nua was say Mr. Say Bright Eddie Sadi we abeto I am was say watching from UK. I partnered with AJ Motors this week, and the experience has been phenomenal so far. Thank God, yenya obia all day need the airba. Enti ebusianfo, yebeda Mr. Nasiru ase na ya call Mr. Bubaka na ya channel also so akbo ni din no waka be ofre and then a little background of him. Madam ase.
Yo, Mr. Charles Medase, from Abubakar Mohammed. Me and Fantino so I be my friend me Fantino Kojo. And me and Fantin Kremo. Takrade, born and raised in Takrade, and I moved to the US at a kind of a teenage years. So I've been here for almost 20 years. So
Hey.
I am Mekasa, but for never Mekaka, Monfanchame wife. If I'm based in Alexandria, Virginia, in the U.S. So a little bit of a background on how I ended up here. You know, so I think it was 2020. I made a building project in Takrade. Right, so now I should share knowledge on real estate. You know, trying to learn more about the real estate industry and all that. So I call YouTube, and I was searching around, and I chanced on Mr. Obenda, who's one of his videos. So that's how I really got kind of connected to this whole community. So that was one of his old videos, you know, Okasa about real estate and how to do it properly and you know, do it successfully. So through that, you know, I started following him closely, and you know, almost every Saturday live, you know, and I'm in the background. And like I said, I'm one of the few, you know, backstage that we never come out. So I even at some points I paused my building. I paused the building because Mr. Obioma, as I said, you know, in order for you to see financial success, you need to start small. And what is a cash building? So I said, it doesn't free up the cash. unless you have a huge amount, I'll be to media invest right away. No, return. So I pivoted from the building and went into transports. So transports, I need your home since I was in my childhood because I quite remember my mother on what taxi had my uncle, and it was that was one of the bad experiences my mother had. It was essentially misused. One share car ni. So that was a bad experience I remember. But I was still interested in it. So after I paused the building, I went into Aboboyaa. Meto Aboboyaa Mienu. That was the year around 2021 or 22. And also, I made some mistakes. And see, I think, when you say that a lot of people, essentially go into this business, and after going into the business, they have bad experiences. I've been there. I be taught Aboboyaa Mienu back home. I say, back home, because of negligence of the driver, and then another one, it was a bad driver, and that's it. It's not say. So those were two bad experiences. And coming back to Mr. Obendako, I say, essentially, what off from 3 times, so you get up, essentially each time, and you keep going. So I essentially made my mind that, okay, this transport business, I have to make it work. And I am in charge the House of Kemofe Beggars, Alhamdulillah, Mikoshia, my partner, Abdul Jalil, Ewo Kumasi. So Meshia no Chumoto nibi na you be there. And I think at some point Nirano the owner sold it. So he was looking for motor, and I say no, you know what? Send I mean buy and I'm in any move, like talking to him and listening to some of the insights and Pragya and the transport business in general from Abdul Jalil. I say no, I need to invest and try one with him, even though I had a bad experience. So many Juma there. I mean, we built the trust from the ground up. Oh, so there was not even a week where he missed the sales, and even when he was having some issues, he made sure say "Obe communicated." So we built ourselves, or built that trust on that foundation. No? So at some point, no, na me friend me catch and say, you know what, this one we need to make a business out of it because one, they say, if you're trying to do proper business in transports, it's about numbers. And see one and there, and so we started to gradually build ourselves. So we went from one motor to two on the Brabi buy. And when we started doing that, at the beginning, we that's when we started to kind of build the foundation of A&J Motors because number one, I had some really bad experiences to send a mechanic. And number two, I was trying to really make it successful. And I leveraged Mr. Ben, the teachers in the power. Because any business that you're trying to scale, that will need systems. If you don't have a proper systems that you are using to run your business, I mean, essentially, you can forget about it. So that was one of my key focuses to, at the early stage, establish a system. So we have several systems within A&J, recruitment systems. How can you properly recruit a driver? How can you properly vet the driver? Obenya quality drivers are, over to me on my ejuma. And also when it comes to reducing the risk of theft, what system can we use to reduce the risk of to say obi baby motor na na motor no bayera? And we found some solutions for that. And also, when it comes to daily operations, how can we properly run this business? Making sure that Ninyamoto bear 100 krana, we can manage it properly. So we established that in the very early stages. So initially, every week, me talk. So every 2 weeks, many Abdul Jalil, I say, we need to go this aggressively. So after a year two, I may say every 2 weeks, I will try my best. So you be motor backward to. And
Hey,
it was very aggressive, Mr. Charles. It was very aggressive and
Nyabotre.
yeah.
Wow. Bacha koso.
It was very aggressive and it was it wasn't easy. So I say if you want to be successful, you need to take risks. And Kuruma say so. always you need to have some buffer as far as your safety nets as they call it. I cleared all of that, and I made this a kind of shame. So every 2 weeks we are near top for almost 7 months. So gradually we built ourselves to around like 14 motors, 14 to 16. And so I slowed down because now the beauty about this transport business in general is cash flow is extremely strong. It has very, very, very strong cash flow in the transport business. So as we built ourselves, the business was funding itself. It was starting to say, funding, I'm in charge. You see, motors almost, a total of 23 motors. Total of 23 motors. And drivers, and also, person make a survey. So, what questions are, please interrupt and ask me. Driver, when it comes to the drivers, like I said, we have a system of properly vetting them and making sure that they're quality drivers. And so initially, the first motor we did, it was regular sales.
Sorry. Ebusiafo said ye nua senior comet atwere no senior comet bia wo bia me bacha me chao. YouTube show chere me say enipa 4 per I think shows first no me hwe na 4 and I like video no which is very very misremo ada ye 13 and sabre ye tie ye go on ye numbers ni grow misremo mo me like video no na ye share video no because hwe de wo share ase no or ye very very aggressive hwe be wodro enti yeso so ye hia say video we be ko ba bia because recruitment for another business like this a here aggressive mind enti Mr. Wada mo me share sisi ya bacho to aso.
Okay, thank you. So let me say our first motor na yetoya. We not your friend is saying they my work and pay. And my name and manager no you discuss here. That's when, like I said, we really built the system there. Number one, we wanted to make sure say as far as Sanya Mobile Moto ni and I'm my person my manager no super ben because he has the underground knowledge and Sanya, the proper if I say when it comes to the transport business now, as far as knowledge goes, he's a wealth of knowledge. So at some point I'm sure it's a Obek corner, so you will hear kind of a lot of what's actually happening on the ground. I'm more of a strategic level, but also day to day, we are working together. But going back to my points, we built work and pay, as our main model, because the main issue I remember having in the past was it was always sales, to say regular sales. You own the motor and you essentially rent it out to the drivers on a daily basis, normal year sales. And when you do that, there's a lot of, if I may say, negligence on the part of the drivers. They don't really care for the motor. Because at the end of the day, no one say, as I crana, I know the about corner baby, I compare for it. So that was one of the key issues. We needed to address. So how can we address that? And it's a known model. Like we need to also get the driver invested in the motor. So, how can we do that? We need to get them invested. So then we will, go with the work and pay model because I don't know, driver and crowd, they come to care more about the motor than you, the owner. Because at the end of the time, they know that the motor is going to be theirs, right? And see, Abdul Jalil bet me a lot of stories. Some of them are funny, where drivers know, they really they become attached to the motors to the extent say after 1 week, and what is a noise to be a motor no and I know a flat manager say manager, my motor name making noise to say nah I bet you okay. Because they want to make sure that at the end of the time and almost obey them he will benefit from the motor. And so that was one way to address that issue of negligence and misuse. So the other issue that you were having was theft. So motor any Pragya Nivea and so how can we address that risk? And so we said for every motor we will make it a business cost. We will make it a business cost. Even 2,000 cedis cry better ship. And that will address the risk of being via motor. Even if they steal it, we can track them and trace them down and recover the machine. So that was another risk of that we address. The other risk is if I say the main risk here being via motor and also the misuse of the motor. So we address that with work and pay and also a good solid tracking system and also a solid contract. So you have several systems at play. But for Beck is a system of systems.
Wow.
So contracts, I will need drive on the best side. We really make sure that we drive it home. And I think Mr. Mohammed, I know he came on board and he saw the contract that we usually sign with the drivers. And Mr. Say also commented, he's seen it. So we take that very seriously as far as making sure that we address a lot of risks in the contract. I don't want to go to say down the line items, but we really hit the point home. Say motor we are serious about it. And see if you don't follow it, we will essentially make sure that if you breach a contract now, we'll make sure that the outcome is seen. As far as say engine motor now, and I say any other disciplinary actions we need to take. Yeah. So I think I've listed out as far as our systems, very very strong contracts, very strong tracking system, and also very strong vetting process of drivers, as well as sticking with the work and pay mode. That's what's working for us at the moment. Because to Sanya America and all the bad experiences, it was all of them, 100% was regular sales. I own it, you come and take it, you work with it. And our boys on this one are more bad. They come with their if you look well, you find quality drivers, but I would say, out of 100%, Ubenya maybe 30% that will be quality. But if you convert that to a different model, no, you can bring up that 30% to maybe 60, 70, because who doesn't want to own? And so I mean that's really, I think, some amount kind of the background from where we started and where we are. So that, and if there's any questions I can, and I said Mr. Abdul Jalil can chime in.
Me manager so me who say why word or techre abusua from Pacho Safena uti and Pacho Mami who baby wo free. Me say mama hwe baby wo free. Pese me who baby ye enuanu community no ya dru ya build ya kodro. Pese me who baby obi a hye na nyame ado na say opportunity bi ba yesusu hu say we eliem ho no opportunity na ba no na wote wo na yetimi dia de a hye ama. That's why I am pese me who baby ya wo hwe finti no comment section asen bisro mama hu baby ya mutie ye free na mama say man like and asem like who experience bi so far Pragya any Aboboyaa ne okada business na misro media ehia me mama sonte so be obaba be share ene ya ana search no de bebre me ehia me na me manager say manager koyi manager me pacho one particular thing na me hu ye na manage ye any the price or they say tag you can say award na mo de ma drivers no ubetimi aka bibia fa ho a kere me identity award.
Okay, the Eddie can me the uncle pass as I done once say mama me this opportunity seven because I me sa extend one big tank my friend say me boss and kasa Mr. Wu the Eddie can somebody enjoy car by this time there net say no credit any your friend saying truster me boss back on aya ashe me ho a yetimi dia ejuma ba beduru said the year do now no I think say Pragya ejuma no ohia oba Ghana say specifically Kumasi bebre ho a mo ye ejuma ba I say when you come to business we business one I was say we different things abema wo why very very special said they are who address issues are issues are our business no nyina now what they can address that issue no say na wo be yana na no aye de be aye so a question let me come to a question I will be say about award no I know say friends say nipa bia wo ya de na say wo de woman no say wo ya de a sonibo ema wasaye more ena omo amu echire no so omo so be hu say ya we ya de no wanya your friends say award ebe ma no akoyinim nti me nso me de me Mr. guy say I say good thing and nipa kono ya your friends say wanya sa your friends say award no so yes our platform tricycle no drivers ni na say the boss edi kan kai no before say ebe ma a driver ebe ma tricycle no and yes ebe so keke na ya pet driver there we have the system is there. We've already advertised. Say you're a driver, working pay. So I'm friendly in a through application letter. I say a page or office. Through application letter. Through application letter. And you know what's happening to Ghana card and the driver license outside the account. Now I'm CV. You know. Now what's actually CV. Pragya before say working pay you should have experience. It was once working pay and you know masters and I can say it be a normal amount now regular section and don't ever jail. This one a bit high, so you have to be experienced driver. So you can yes I did na I say vetting if I can personally myself vetting and I think say Aboboyaa and say because of me and my trip Pragya for about 6 years before say me my boss. And see me experience and would be far na me do far and all those me manage company no me so me start to be that at the far inside no so we ejuma me hu one ejuma o me hu ejuma dey say ejuma market ho me hu say market ho and I told them so me say ma mo ntiti say hey we see oko at this kind of area obenya customers afa ofa hasia obenya dropping o ko hasia was say we charge see so me di kan educate you.
Wow.
After that, you know, say you won't say, oh, we will be very good. Then as I pay recommendation after for more ben won't say what dream do like you are very because once you will be because of working Pragya is you to know Dawson. Uncle on my margin and said and you have to be very strict about friends and vetting no vetting pakono details. Said you will sit here. We understand like drivers now all the on board in India. Well, your friends say, you're serious. And she said, you had the machine before say the machine, ever say, said, the boss Cassian, yeah, they can explain your contract, company contractor, you better explain natural, the do's and don'ts of the company. Now, I saw my what you say, won't you, bro, for a better king can, now I explain natural or language or whatever, what you are saying. And Abisa will say, are you sure that you are okay with the contract? If you are okay, then we sign the contract. If you are not okay, then you will call Nipa Fufro. So when it comes to drivers, so far, mashallah, a friend saying you are about almost 2024, Nipa be 3 every year. I'm a Omafa Pragyano. Nipa be 3 every year. And so far, my boss bet me to testify. Said better than I use on Chama. Bibia, you found a problem with the I said I giri because we already vet the person. Edim Nipakono as an Eddie man. Yahuni Pakono as an Eddie man. And so say ba award no I think award no the ban said the Bema Yasaye special. And then I award no ever.
Wow. For I feel no buy mo akwaba. Mr. Wa won like video mpacho say bomodian so be like video na my na mo obia share on the Facebook page ni Facebook page and I say ni WhatsApp status and I say baby obetima share bi bia share na beboa ama obia any opportunity no because yenimu bebrebe ana sa opportunity we say buy ya ye ka say bia e ko failure but me hwe systems na and you put into place na it's harder to fail. Yeah, obie ni enye krista a obetimi aka bibia but entina me busebusa wo no wo question bi abra na bubusa wo mo Mr. David Tete or say opemo number nti echi ye di number no Mr. David oche no ye di number no ebeto nti tokoso anebo modern hwe wo question bi anso abra life ne bebusa den na obi anye dai amfa wo sika anwa dai nyanka sebe so eti manager me pachade ba ko a manager ho pote ene se wo se watchi for 6 years that means se obi ba no the story ni beto ho a wouldn't be or shall say free. Wouldn't the kind of person, no, anybody or person where they or this thing to you, a DNT, you modu do na you feel with that particular sector.
Please, can you come in? As a network, can I start to call?
Okay, me say, I did about come manager on say, OC business when who woman that and sana obey general manager for AJ Motors. To you, a DNT, you modu do na you trust and keep be near failure. Ain't funny failure.
Okay, first of all, I think when it comes to my driver, we say any background checking. Mostly, so driver, we know ya say company. So the pakono bow on him say idea work on like a company. And yes, Eddie, your friend says the pakono betro letter. We want to crowd between me be lie so be 6 months no ya moto no. So imagine say struggle we now be kono. What the motor man like obe say a sombo man a be sombo man nti say your friends and difference na man say mostly and I be so on my we are just for hand to mouth and we share yes system no so system na ya create no the motor man wa baby a obefa bia ye why ejuma e be hu say why ejuma 1 year ejuma e be hu but say many wo say nipa kon different one experience na no so motor or the motor mo obi when him say why ejuma who say why ejuma into stories in the best outdoors. And one about we don't see the boss car and we campaign also a idea as a driver personally before say Mesa has my we campaign will be answer maybe see my boss. So me use that experience no time we campaign no me machine no me should see because I told the dia obi nkola akwala kra di nsa ko ka machine wa na I said let me move because me want a machine no that you better than me there but me so me nyan take no enti I was say me show see say dia me tia e kana ma nipa ko no me wie nso a na ma dey me nso ma benefit so say o bibi ya bo friends eye moto no kaka bo say be ha wakuma be ka wakuma so the way you are say the wo moto no say wa na wo dey there o sika e dey be akwakoto as a driver no that's the experience I think when it comes to normal sales anyway campaign and at the same me experience and say me am a different time I me work campaign any time I me the me normal sales we are normal sales to the via like ope sika na obe peno and no concentration was so say bia obe sika e dey akwa dey auto your friends saying machine no be but when we campaign no there like why you in here will say machine we that better than me there. That better than me there. So we are, you are very strict on the machine. Bibia ebeka machine bibia ebeka. And if I say when it comes to when it comes to work campaign, even repairs in our contract, say BBC na say Uber be repair like for your fault. Your responsible driver and who responsibility say who are where the we are repairs because it is working pay. But say normal say at the end say the kon ba obeti media wa ko si ofita ho no wa jai moto no kra no wa ko ni baby. No afro owner no say owner moto na say we dey go see a fence fita shop na wa wo bre but working pay no terms no say ya the man wa bibi say o machine no wa na obey so who kra o mpene ma bibi say na wo di aye de ben akọ a fence fitam. So I think there's some Arabia ama and when it comes to say the security my boss say I think say he pondered there say my friend saying yeah baby I'll be parking also you will check it. You should be very secure please. Maybe I honor me was say security mostly my friends and drivers almost 90% of the drivers now they don't move man or more parking or more machine or filling station under a security care. bit yeska the ama script no na script na ebe ashe because as among the contract no we indicated that the machine no yira on some and we have you pay the full amount stated in the agreement. So you won't even give a like, oh my God, every gap will be a man why what the agrono like you're close to that gap. I think that's the difference between any normal person or no why normal person why package man.
Wow, abusia for me mtwana that means say you crew we can build systems and say build systems here everything will work. If we say the omu systems na to on ade ne work ma omu dia na say just like that then na bia ni duro bia ni failure no. I think so. So only me ya mami hu say who build systems na mami hu try ase comment in building systems and one from an echo every bia no yen try to building systems na me ye nkaye because I think says all building systems na systems need to be running without you. Say the yenu no maye no ye be ma ekwan na abusuafo aba on person busa question miss na say me pa cho me mo akwa ba
Mr. Charles Mejoso.
Mitigation ho ye na bibia boko so openi
Adum bibia boko mpacho na sorry.
Nyamia don boko we da say. Okay, Mr. Foster will say I'm in Jessican and also be between me also OT region. I'm into detergent distribution. I seriously need this tricycle for a work and pay basis. Can he help since the location is different? Yeah, Mr. Foster, me so say na memo mo ayi no. Why? Intimacy will comment na ato. Inti menko na gina so ne enhwe ade. Say so open so na say wo be fa link na ba na o abebusa okay. Mr. say me pa cho ye mo akwa aba. Wo bibia wo ne e be share ana say wo question bia be so busa o mo a e kwan da o.
Okay, me da si bebre we dey me me bosses as Mr. Naziru, me da as Mr. Buena general manager Abdul so me da bia say with my experience na me share kakra. I think that was last week and Mr. Naziru ebedi Pragya business home komo Mr. Ben platform so. Na no so ya dey na manage ho pa me kai time my young money share ne dey say baby o no. Na me interested but now yeah because of risk na be taking that na say calculations I taking any step. Yeah, taking any step net na hosa but later the figures in the two was in amount for say investing and so wow. Okay, we can share same time. Into any meeting that my plan across and me could to be gram will be anymore ya na fortunately no Mr. Nazir Bedi home come Mr. Ben platform since right after that no and I may get in touch and I will brief me on my business no senior and then my city terms and conditions near the and I say okay. Until that was Monday you trail me Anna. Yes, I started BBI Koto Pragya. By Wednesday, any BBI registration, BBI tracking system, everything was in place. And I say I started a year Juma. Now I about about A&J Motor says the level of transparency, very high.
Wow.
The level of transparency very high. They be send pictures because any amount for so a partner and makatra. But instead say Obamu who seen in MSC corner. No answer no can say be a possible but A&J Motors there Obamu who say na identity a contract in the no send PDF Pragania Koto no send picture registration no send internet build that trust no and I think it's one of the things when we have partnership and I say investments with other companies and say build that trust no. So honma a bomb juma no cost to na dey about come manage home power mo tracking system no. Superb. CCI meti hey nkaka broche for what do sika to account me say me train na because broche sika to account me interest be amaso. ANG motor so the sika no kwishima when you can get at least 1/3 at the end of 16 months. No, you know, me calculation share no, this is a good investment. You know, my from Sikan tracking system, it makes me be me track and see and I'm share from morning to evening. Baby a nipa no wakɔ nyinaa nti sɛ nipa no wɔdi nturo bi kyerɛ ANJ motor sɛ metumi apɔmte ɔmo sɛ no ANJ me driver no wasɛ ɔsɛ ɔyɛ si but mehwɛ tracker no so no ɛnyɛ saa na ɛteɛ ɛna I think sɛ ɔmo payment no nso no ɔmo share sheet no with you ama ohu sɛ ne nneɛma esi kɔ day biara update ma o day biara onya mail on payment beebi a aduru and I'm very happy to be part of A&J Motors, and I'm willing to grow with them. In the next year, 1 year, and say at least in 5 or because passive income they are there when you have we the next can ever. So we're sorry, because me I'm a bomb who send me coffee. Into anya share crown, me fast away and I'm with you, but make me no great chama rent and coffee. And you feel I miss a one bob boys can akɔ ɔde akɔtwa rent metin di sika na meboa no ɔha na mede atom account mu na ɛmu bebree yɛde sika no ato account mu na ɛda hɔ saa yɛbɛtaki step no yɛntaki step no im sɛ sɛ wobɛtaki obi wɔ wakyɛke saa na memeyɛɛ young money hyɛ saa na meyɛɛ metena ase yɛ calculation ne saa mantaki step no bɛyɛ ngye motors deɛ ne baa Mr. Naziru mene ne di nkɔmmɔ ɔkyerɛkyerɛ me sɛ mesɛ okay metena ase yɛ calculation okay adam ne de no manya koraa no. And me one thing about me means me say me now even cry a CD cry no who say me nyamboka. Say me see come me the kwanisa na me nya a CD was so. It's okay, we a good one. You know, sadia na me no mo be ye adwuma na ye hu se ne besi akọ. Nti me da se bebre. Me bosses me da masepa so.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Mr. Charles, let me interject to our kakra.
Yeah, me pacho brem.
Okay, so Mr. Asai, we want to thank you for placing that trust in us. And that's a key word. And Michelle says that I hit on that point. Say this business was established upon trust, and I'm a manager or boss. So the core foundation is trust, and you know, in business, any type of business, trust in you are. I mean, forget about it. Oh, so that's the key focus. And you see, and we are a very small team, very tight team. And see, for every person we bring on board, the vetting process is very, 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 very strong. I know beyond any the core principle, that's the core foundation of trust. And also I want to expand on the question about if I say why many people fail in transport business in Ghana. And I said the word business. Many people they don't go in they don't treat it as a proper business. No, proper business with proper systems running the thing. And the amount of money the Pragya we're making if it's been working for 6 months now, on to me country was me Pragya after 6 months, many say, regardless of work and pay and I say regular sales. And so the data collection and retention is very, very key. And see, Mr. Say can be our witness. We make sure everything is recorded. Since we start, would they one city buy a petrol? Would they two city buy a petrol? If we're going for 60 months, so the driver is aware of how much they paid. The clients also know how much a friend is the motor driving it here. The clients knows how much they have invested, total amount of invested, capital, the profits, the business costs. We're tracking a lot of stuff. So I think that I wanna, people fall short as far as failing in this business. And our systems also is very important because any type of business now the goal is to scale big, and I think that that's where we limit ourselves. Limit ourselves on media maminya bakwana se me no bi at least nyamenya de metumi anya. But if you're going into this and the mindset is, and as I said in the beginning, we my name and manager net enough for say no, we need to scale this aggressively. How can we do it? And if you reach a certain point, then for instance, look at the motors 15, 16, and you are doing, work and pay, or the sales about different days. Because we collect every week we collect sales. And so beyond the need about different days, where they buy Monday, where they buy Saturday, Sunday, Thursday. How can you properly track that? Or if one of the drivers, if they are due, how do you know, say, drive away, his time is up to make pay sales? And see, one build it, if you don't establish the proper systems in the beginning now, it will limit you. They have the money to grow, but well, it's about 15, 20 now, they are stuck because systems cannot support that level of growth. So if you look into say, if you have high ambition, so person will push it 50, 100, 200, you need the proper systems to support. And I think no, that's where a lot of us we fall short. We want to have one or two and see the mind. I don't know, say, oh, my man build it, system able to me support it to take me far. And that's where we mess up in the systems. So like I said in the beginning, a system of systems. You need proper tracking, proper contracts, proper management, operations. Every component. I say we should see that. So and it's not. I say you do it once and it's done. To me, Mr. Abdel, we are always reviewing and always kind of adjusting to the senior how things are playing out. So always fine tuning, always making improvements, and see. I think that's where we fall short because we'll call business. If you come into it with the mindset, say no, this is my business. When I made to me person me set it up, na me did you need to sit down. To say we sit down. Who say that is a lot of systems.
Yeah.
I mean, my background, former background is in electrical engineering. So, systems, is all inputs and outputs. I didn't know what's, you build your system and you design it such that what the inputs about, what they wait. If your inputs in this case is money, you have the system
Okay.
there. You bring your inputs, with the kind of schema. The system is supposed to work on that money, and your output is hopefully more returns. System no and outputs, and also you won't get good outputs.
Okay. Information. Where the munya betrama because nye say abusuafo omo busa questions ye wose busa. Nti e wose e mo Ye maame the first one no ye senior Foster wose OT region. Can he mbetimi aboa no ama ne nsa ka bi wo ho ama no de adwuma na say for that and I say this nipa no Kumasi Ashanti region ko am da wase.
A very good question. See, we only operate in Kumasi.
Okay.
And going back to our system, we want to make sure that everyone is properly vetted and we have good representation, baby, wherever we operate. And since you see, I know we are only in Kumasi, but in the future, I know definitely my goal, and I said the aim is even wherever Pragya, we want to enter there, and
Wow.
even not limited to Ghana. So the ambition, big.
Wow.
And not only Pragya, like as you said in the beginning, Mr. Charles, any transport, because nimpa de baby at every level, obi a won ni car, obefa Pragya, obefa taxi, obefa trotro, obi a walk
Okay.
car, and also person walk. If you walk person from Takrado to Kumasi, on person they can't drive, and I said they don't have that courage, Baka for bus, obi a a friend say. Sikapa, no, say, ono dia, was Sikapa, still no, two kayako, abuchra, they need to get on the plane. So,
Yeah.
wherever, any level beyond in power beyond Obefa, at some point you need transportation. So, transport business, is a very lucrative one. And the goal, is not limited to Pragya. In the future, we will, expand. But currently, our focus is on Pragya and also we only focus on specific zones, which is now Kumasi.
Okay. May I say the next question here, Mami Charity, also OTA free US. Was say, please, what will be the profit for buying one project after the 1 year contract?
Okay.
No, and yeah, 1 year or 16 months. So
16
that will be
months.
1 year,
That's
4
1.5 years.
months.
1.5 years, sorry.
1 year,
4
4
months.
months. Yeah.
Okay.
Abubakar, bet me alcohol.
But 1 year, 4 months. And after 1 year, 4 months, the total returns expected is 50%. But we also take management fee. Obviously, yeah, we've put a lot of blood and the kind of sweat into this. So, management team also we have people who record sales on a daily basis. And see, you are coming into this, but expectation is you're gonna obviously there's a fee to pay. But in total, no, the expectation is we'll be at 50% minus the management fee, which lands you roughly about 35 to 40%.
Me ba me said ye be ya omo tie beti ase me so meti ase because I dey course be beba me ha ye de mo number beto dwa Mr David ya or hwe mo number o pe ohia mo number den be the number beto dwa but me se me so meti ase bi semi invest e o Pragya ba ku after 1 year 4 months 50% of me principal na me to Pragya no return but a more return no and on na mo so mbete mo commission for the management me pacha me boa me ti ase
No, sir.
okay
Yes.
enti se me me making say 60,000 sorry 30,000 for Pragya and me toy and I'm more me say 50% 15 enti mo 15% 15,000 Ghana cedis say and I'm more tier free more particular amount and I say based on the you can say me who say missing no more certain amount to be a multi free 50%
Okay, so every in fact, our rate here per month is 400 cedis. To put that out there, and 400 cedis, that is a month. So every week you be in fact, driver the sales 1,000 bar, the be 100 cedis a free. So short answer to your question, that if you have 30,000, 50% by 15,000. So 15,000, or your friends, so you apply around 13%, 13 to 15% to that 15,000. No, into I don't know that becomes the commission that is paid. Remainder then your friends say net profits, right? So you're looking about maybe 11 to 12,000 net.
okay
And
okay
but person may make it this point.
yeah
Transport business is about numbers, and I think I've heard this point home. With some of our clients, it's about numbers. And to share one motor, no, it might not seem like a lot, but as you scale, no, the secret in it is in scaling the business. Because imagine, you invest $1 million and I say 1 million cedis, and you are getting 35% returns. That's
yeah
350,000. So it's really in the numbers. So that's you have to look at it from that perspective.
okay ebuja for Mr. Mo me here baby a mo hwe ye free Mr. Mo ada wo a won twere ye no afene wa ban so ye mo akwa ba Mr. say like video no mai na share video no ma pacha mo me hwe mo ma me hu baby mo hwe ye free the next question because your next question say okan kakra will say please is the business restricted to a particular region or nationwide enti o ma ye hu baby a hwe free no so ebeboa but I think say what can one say we can be kakra just a short year.
Yeah, well, as of now, no, we are only operating in Kumasi.
Okay.
Because I want a year representation to properly supervise and track BBR. And see, as we grow, no, we will go into different areas and zones.
That means as a munya manager bit to say AJ mobetimi BB or another region.
No, correct. Yes. And see,
Okay.
sanity. But right now we want to keep the operations very tight in Kumasi. But there are plans to, as I said, grow very big.
Yeah. Okay. Matthias, me that say. Another question, Pacho. Mame Faustina, me da sinyami nshira o so tie free German. Guten evening me year fi sigi kan kafra. Mr. David, or say how much is the Pragya?
Mr. Abdul, I think he will have the current numbers, but
DJ,
I think
General Manager Mpacho here.
Hello. Hello. Please come again.
Mpacho, Mr. David, or say how much is the Pragya?
Network.
okay, I can take that question based on the recent one. So there are two types of TV motors. Drivers normal pay.
Okay.
So one is TVS. TVS, the price, at the current rate is about 41,500 or so.
Okay.
Bajaj, and I have Bajaj. Meaning I Indian brands. Bajaj, 40,500. Currently, we bought one. Almost 4 or 5 days ago. That was 40,500. And so it depends on the driver. Driver be no pay Bajaj. Or pay Bajaj. So you buy that one. We also no pay TVS. And see the price varies based on we will try to cater to the driver and what they want because ultimately they're going to own the motor. So we want to make sure that we cater to them.
So also choose your pay. Mami Faustina, me pacho. I think say me sebeti mi ewura YD mu na takra de no on say so far no omo ye no kumase but on me sure say wo ye obi a wo ye o pese o ye investor enye so pese o ye driver enti say o busam takra de a o pese o twen say o mbeduru takra de ansa na wo invest de a I think say e better say na ube try one e kumase na hwe se bibia ye okay de a o mbeduru kuma e takra de na wo be 10. Oh, takra de we twen o. I don't know say bia woni me ya adwama me for sin na say wo bibia so apeso bebusa so a me de link ni say tumbio fa mu na ebra bebusa Mr. David me de link ni to I think say what try sen ka wo but one accept request for mic in a video into them say menti me anya one more inside but no problem anything am wo ha Mr. David so nisa me pa cho Mumfa number na me ento na ye wi aya to aso why because bia na me pese bia ebeduru na Mr. David bia no wantie na wantime ante number enti fa number ne to
okay Charles we bet me the number no to fa share we comment section into obi or question bia o bet me afre
okay me am bet ebusia for me am twere number na to comment mu sese me pa cho another two things I'm person me busa mo na ye hu ha we ni titro Mr. General Manager recently Matisse say ejuma ni Ghana men koka farming because farming they say you're poor but ejuma we say they're working to you adenti enen conform pesa ejuma say ni bi ye now still na no mo try say o mo train teacher and friend and say bibi just young boys o mo graduate adenti ne bi mo pesa ejuma we say bi ye no mo pe in train government anymore no to you manager budget me ka
say ni network no han
okay
yeah
no problem Mr. Naziru
yes boss
if you say will be any
hello
yeah
okay what about
minti Mr. Charles kaba me to bi aka ba wono ko kasa minti nka
okay question no na obisa we say you for about the break I say ejuma ni Ghana into a person want throw that question to you like ejuma or Ghana na
okay ejuma die question very your friend saying technical because ejuma the car ejuma is said ejuma or Ghana but omo ambe invest no and I think say almost through kaka the America saying is if anything, you know that ANJ motors, top motor, and my boss also every 2 weeks there we motors. But then Osha number boys phono or motor letter ebano. Raise our motor letter and any motor no air tono. So like baby ewo bench if you want my bit now by 3 months. Not still on young ni sign the young motor because microphone doors no. Or more doors are mobile. So by doing that, you know, say, or more pay you man doors and change you man. By you might be a honum, a Ghana about investors, you know, now it be true because of nuclear the microphone and you'll be an nuclear. It was slow say, Ebia, what the better is, Ebia of a business or personal business, but was slow say, what the mobi, none of the bank, I didn't see.
Okay. Mr. Nazir, mpacho me the number na to o hwema me say correct ya. Say me sitire na.
Okay. Mami
Okay.
me who
Yeah.
okay, o de mami frɛ number no so number no yɛ sɛ o pɛ sɛ o frɛ number no yɛ 510-689-8932 510-689-8932 Inti ube timi afrɛ you know through WhatsApp ube nyame.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's it. Ebusha for the program no be we nti so bi o question bi a Mr. Omra na o mebusa ana se bisa. Na say
Mr. Charles.
Be me na me be so hwe camera yanim. What would you say your chrome for abrochire for burgers for no? The number one fear or more we documents if you are any investment, how to manage the investment in Ghana. I don't know how can be say account. Yeah.
I say a friend say me obia kasa me nkaba I say o kasa me ntionka.
Me back to you, Mate. Don't worry. Yeah, me the question about my man Mr. Nazira Akachiro.
Okay, what see so what be some question no I mean me you know okay yeah.
Okay. Mr. Osei, to you can be chere ebusuafo. Obia o yeboga bia ni nsa ka video e. E die na uji se opuka chere na ebetima me na consider sa particular investment we a wonso so ni age ho.
Okay, me that's be. Okay, na meka ne say o ahoden no na bia usuru se obeye. E bia o pese auto 10 ba usuru kra na o defa ba akwhya ase. Hwe se ne ANJ motors o musi o munye masifa. Even crowd ase a the way be see aye transparent documentation and man wa hwe kra na o mon to Pragya no kra be wa wen se ne at a spot be to be 5. Today say opese oyibia fa ba ko e hye ase na hwe se ne nyama isi den eko se woni je ho a na odi bi aka ho because me gidi ye say enye Ghana fo e na enka no kre e nipa suban e ye nteteye na ANJ motor senior musika en no omatete mo drivers no wo hwe se ne manager isi kasa hwe se ne mpanyimfo so isi kasa nteteye no wo ho nto mu nyina mo ka no kre me tracking system say am check it de bia me check hwe be bia nipa no park motor no transport na no park because o ma meti ase se o mbepe baby a o park e be boa no enye se na o de akosi ha echi no de akosi ha na mo contract nso kra no hwe ma restrictions na na no edin nti nipa no on try so be default because when inside them the day the motor ni ene dia nti on try so be default se ne ANJ motor beji motor na eden every ninsem nti wa buchi na pay investment bia aya woni investment bia pesa oye na pay bia aya I recommend ANJ motors to baako fa sha se hwese ne ene mesi ko wa beba na wasan be di ho adanse me da ase.
Yo senior me so me da ase. Na Mami Musa Mr. Naziro asem. Mr. Naziro.
Yes, boss.
Pragya business a profitable na senya profitable.
Profitable. Send me boss guy and we a numbers game. Unse se skanu, me se na mahu adwuma no se sa skanu a eba no se undi skanu a oho na obe se ube hu se a numbers game because sa sales na eba no uma hu maybe another 1 year kura betimi ato moto no ba ku de aka ho before we first one no kura nipa no be tuya moto no. So I think say a numbers game because like a month 3,600 na beba unse. So when you say na manage car, I mean by 2-3 years to come no ube own a lot of machines. So like Abubakar car a numbers game. So who ba kukra obi any na hon di mintimi ka force you say better me who ba kukra say na ube manage car no that will determine how far you go in the business. So me idea me make no.
Yo, me da say more to me mama na say am na about life there. And the question be on the baby, I say more nyina no assemble better be. Okay. You saw the question we're chilling no about life and say I say mama charity but you more cover.
I hope so be away.
You can't find this happening to make anyo.
Okay. Yo. That's it. Yeah. So me di can busa question first one. Na mucheche mukakra but as na me share ante as a papa. Me question ni bi me say. So say me wo be mienu miensa e wo mo nchen a mo profit margin no mo dia mo taking no e be the same as the woody can church mo no. And also because me work more than one, no, move to me at it, mobile, so I'm an abba form. Bibisa or hosa. Because me need be more AAB. And at the end of the month, or give me 200. But Moody, I say 400. It's me when it's I say more expensive based on the Modiano, the way I'm church mono. Yeah. Many be more or me 200 a month. Or say both I work and pay anyway in ano. Or be me 200. So 200 and chairman every month. It's more dear no so no. So more 400 that's and will bear me and so with you are. Then I share any city. But
Okay. Yo, that's a very Pacho, thanks you. That's a very basic question away. It's a very good one. Currently, the share I want to say motorbike could be monthly. We collect 400 cedis for managing it, and the reason why we do that, and the reason why we do that is because of how we differentiate ourselves. Because Yashisha and Yomabi say, even if you want to own 100 motors and 200 motors, using our systems, you can build and then you can leverage that. And see, once you say sometimes when you're looking for a good service, you have to be willing to say also obey because the do what when it comes to these systems that we've put in place now, answer that and follow. So we put very strict systems in place. Like the risk of several investments, wrong, is very low. And also, build a team handle it as far as making sure say motor no juma obi like the writing down amounts are which you are. So you as the investor you don't even lift a finger. I say what do we take our quarter bank? So the fee that we are collecting is to make sure that our operations it keeps running. So yes, the price difference is big, but also you have to look at say what is the when you look at the systems in place now, make the comparison. Now one will say okay, the way innovate to me favor me. Oh, I want to own 20, 30, 40 in the future. Which company no bet me aboa me mama bet me I only that amount of motors without any issues. And I can confidently say A&J Motors able to me I'm out. Now, if you're looking to say, oh, 1 or 2, yeah, and also, sir, so the rate is flat at the current moment. Mr. Abdul Jalil, maybe you bet me, or better the count. I don't want to put you on the spot, but
Yo, okay, Mr. Abu, it has. Mommy,
Papa,
maybe I just said, "Usi can say your crass and your crack, and no antin waha."
Matthias, yes, or Matthias says, so it doesn't matter, send me all 5 and I'm what 10. Sala, could be 400 Ghana cities, right?
Yeah.
the correct, yes.
Yeah.
Yo, Martin.
Mame, me pacho senior committee busa wonso wasem sisi mpacho nyabotre mame. Wose
Okay.
baby eju 200 no. Uwo tracking system a utimi ehwe na so unisa.
Oh, to be honest, we need tracking a UBI womu. We don't have a tracking. Nipa kronwa na onwa or managing na or making sure say at the end of the day na a week, or can be day ebe to my account anymore. Into the hour no. Said you be the kaka sometimes they do hard just to even know say Sikano eba there was challenge near Ayana no so no acquire back and forth no.
Yeah.
I think say there with the years no say that people mind me was say nya fe na me bedwen say oh this week yen first Sikano my and I said this week the situation in it here into maybe I have a difference. I
Hey,
think that's a
how
moment
you doing?
yes and then a good
How
thing
you been?
to
You okay? Long time. Yeah. She's doing okay.
yeah, that's it.
Oh,
See, let's
okay.
try. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Mate. Enti that means CDC kind of we are satisfied upon all the difference
Yeah,
between
trust me, met me abe mu kakra.
Yes, please.
Yeah, say with the tracking system no say na ya kan ya no. Drivers no ankasa wo mo nim say tracker bo moto no su. So moto ni na baby a nye normal kura wo question a nipa no na ho say then maybe obi di n'echi ana. This oma to moto no we answer na omo say tracking system bo hu. Da no kura no ya be bisa wo say the tracker no pay as o pay o bet to half price of the tracker no na ya jemo ama so pay tracker no na ya investor no the bet to no next machine so with this one with this system no like you are part of the though obi na managing ma but you are part of the system obi the our management no kura want me be ma story say o driver and there one year adwuma o nti maybe week sales no be short o mu there be baby a o motor any na bia u be hu baby a o machine any na so this that's what set us apart from the other competitors so one who difference nti ade a me pese me fa nka hu no
Mr. Charles, and so to add on to Nyameka, I want to say, I think I mentioned this, but even car there are differences, and I'm not saying I think we just opened up this I call it an opportunity because initially science and menkwana meya and I
Yeah.
Mr. Nasiru I'm not quite convincing me to come out. I like to be in the shadows and in the background. So I say he convinced me. He saw that no, this system is powerful. So I think so. I'll say I think we can do more. Oh no, who say a bit to me more of the drivers because there are more drivers waiting to work, and there are also investors and that's more car or more because of trust issues and that's bad experiences. No, or more I say holding back, similar to what Mr. said. No. So I mean. I guess I may card it to me, but the system it really works. And it's built for you to grow. That is the key difference. Also, if we were to measure back home, 5, 10. But once you hit 15, it starts to crack. So to me, like, in terms of say, who say, okay, we sales nearby, and I said no problems, a lot of senior, more running this business, the system they're using, and even a broker system, so that's really what differentiates us from many players. And they say, we are building to say, obey to me, either if you have an ambition, say, oh, me person me 20, 30. And that should be your goal, because in this business, we understand returns, very great. And what's also interesting about transport business, cash flow is very strong. And at the same
Yeah,
time, any
absolutely.
business that has very strong cash flow, you can't beat it. And so, I say, walk a bike. Initially, we started back home, let's say you're going up a hill, it's difficult. But, the more emphasis horsepower you put behind the pedaling, the faster you go. The same with transport business. As you grow, Sikano, more, you pump more into the business blow up. So we give you that platform. So if you have the money, if you have the patience, so per se, we'll call when you we are offering that service to any potential partners. So
Okay.
long answer to the question, because we really believe in our system. And so we charge that amount.
Bacho, mami musa question we ma obi a. Se obi hyɛ aseɛ ɛwɔ mo nkyɛn a, anaasɛ bi a mesɔsɛ koraa okay de mami musa monsa. Sika no, mo na mo keep anaasɛ mo de begu nipa na account mo akɔpem sɛ obi nipa no betua wie. No, no, na refund mo 15%, mo 30% na ma mo. Anaasɛ mo na mo keep akɔpem sɛ sika no, 16 months ne beso. Me da wase.
Very good question. So, as I said before, every month we have 400 cities. So let's say for the drivers, normal bar, we have a flat rate. We are working paying quadra. We bet you, at the current moment, and it can change in the future. We bet you 1,000 cities a week. 1,000 cities a week. When the sales is made, we take our 100, and then you push it, remain an amount, right? So every week, you're collecting 900 cities. So every week we make sure and drivers are here funnel. We make sure they're more diligent and they will make the sales on time. If they for whatever reason there are any issues, I will communicate. But we strive. Say week be when Sabaka Usika. Every week be when Sabaka Usika. So it's on a weekly basis. We take our share and we push the wood and nama every week.
That means yeah, my charity, any year, Mr. David, and I think say Omo no, Ombe Eddie and also Mr. Sekra no. Every weekend be ano kolom na babeda account no 900 me boacha me boa.
But just sanity, yes.
Okay. I the ja. I the.
And oh sorry.
Mame charity. Sana wo de na tie. I'm say yeah mame in network intimi nyina so. Me so say me pa che
Yes, sir.
wo share say 1 week ni aba beto mo na
Yeah.
se nya beto mo.
Oh, a best start is can be share say about Nyame adma next week. Yeah, the moto ni ma nipa no Wednesday premier.
Okay. Wow.
So, Mr. Charles, I want to emphasize me way,
Yeah.
About business, yeah, like to see money every week and that's every day, and it's very powerful. So, and we don't want to say be holding up your capital. So, every week, we make it, really like a point say when Sabeka was sick, and only there in Dimagro. So if you have several motors, you are collecting, and I'm say different days no more. So every a bit me see, I maybe they say almost every other day, no, I'm getting my sales. And see that's
Yeah.
where that's the
There's a
beauty about the transport.
semi moto so every week, every day be no 900 eba.
Sanity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. You bet that must say. But before say be ma ko na ka me hia general manager na me say ejaye nyina nim say de nemesity Mr. Abubakar me pese ye besade waba because o kasem no kan niam me no bia I would like say menya at least a video just 10-20 minutes if no busa na me bia fa ho for entrepreneurship mind na ye nyina ye pese ye build no and me hu say the city ye Ubusa Mr. Nazira obe questions ye bia more or less no me pese me tackle with you no uma me chance ya na yeah the in why video about it said the people will get to know you and also boy ma patronizing so near the echoes because the more now who show up say no SOS idea you become familiar to them and when they come it comes to the patronizing now SOS no there a problem that in particular thing me be say me busa one particular thing to say what kire ye kwan no ekwan be na odi say betimi afa so a system na we put into place now every week bia na say 2 weeks bia no timi nya wa moto no ekwan be na ye betimi afa so nya sa de ne bi mami just three guidelines bi because ye da bi e ka say abroche ne wo base ni ne manema but what me upon this what me put to that place na mami sa that key no me da say.
Okay, very, very good question. And, I want to shout out Mr. Obendako. I mean, I think when it comes to the business and, there's a lot of changes I've made in my life. I've been applying his principles. And one of the topics actually, a seminar on money management. So I think that's it's a good segue. So, based on Yamesha Ephraim Mr. Obianhono, Amama Tia says, you shouldn't have one source of income. You should not have one source of income. You should try as much as you can, say, we'll be creating multiple sources. And Aboboyaa is so called the way to marry, multiple jobs. But what I learned early on is business, like buying and selling, is extremely powerful. When you power pesika, baby, I'll bet me at home. So me, like I said, my formal education is in electrical engineering. So I'm in corporate America. So you make okay money in the office, but also outside of the office, and then it's kind of how are you, bringing in additional income. So based on the teachings, I sat down and really I was brainstorming and said, then I met me extra income coming in. So I went online, just searching YouTube videos. So I found, a good product I made to me at home. So I buy it locally and I sell it online. So I own an eBay store. Oh, and I also, I've learned cybersecurity. So also what I do is, if there's any, I have friends, sometimes they have contracts. So you have to network with those friends, and if there's a contract BPR, that's what bit me then actually paying, you go and work on it, you make extra income. So any means and ways you can bring additional income, because if you only depend on one, if that one goes, if for whatever reason you lose that one, then you are dead in the water. So that was one of the things I learned from Mr. Obin, and it really helped me because yes, you make good money with job, but if you have high ambitions, and I say you need capital to really push those agendas to send a it's a must to bring in extra income. Also, you need to have a budget. And see if money is kind of about when to send Mr. Benkano, if you're having 7,000 coming into your hand, $7,000, 7,000 cedis. So that's a kind a better when do you have a plan? And I say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Since kind of about when do you have a plan for that money that is coming in your hand? And to me, no, Sikano, Ebano, my just said the motto in the budget is woman. See, once the money hits the account, now it's automatic. Because I have a plan for it. It doesn't matter, so of course, nobody did it. I was saying, but at Tajana or Betona and Asempa Bona or Betono. It doesn't really matter. What's my agenda? What's my goal is? So kind of the plan is about I'm taking some and I'm buying a motor. And that's it. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Unless it's some life threatening and that's an emergency being about, then maybe it's as it can be acquired. The plan stays the same. So budgets is extremely important. And being disciplined. I know Aboboyaa said this is one of the best places to do it. I know personally have friends. A bit more, every weekend be a nisika with the man. No, that when the weekend finish, the money finish. Yeah, it's essentially being disciplined, having a budget, right, and always, looking for different sources of income. And it gives you boss obey you with the another because you have backup, you have other options. It gives you power. It puts you, it gives you leverage essentially. So
Men
kakra make
nyina
me
mesro men nyina ye be no video na
okay, no problem.
wa hit ama na because
No
yes
problem.
ana ba be Mr.
Yo,
Naziru mema wo conclude but general manager
Yes, boss.
ye man kasa ansa na wo conclude general
Okay,
manager
okay.
Yeah, we are sorry, yeah, I said, off for your honor.
don't worry ye tinema nya na se ye ti ase ebro so ana obi a wo control niema nso so de enim how is it control room no enye niema nya de pia outside nti no mema ne how idea na wo ka to conclude the year can for so far.
Oh, the American say, A&J Motors will be, and I didn't say, or Baba invest on who or on can home because A&J Motors, over Honoma, there is no scam, legit business, and I said every maybe they are put the friend saying, I did be I was said it to acquire said they are, my friends will be a bayanadi, they are toso, and a friend saying there is no. Back also a driver over where you are say open say we the agent be agura then one ebe call against you because they are putting BBI into place BBI intact inshallah BBI intact ebe ma BB ejuma no so akọ enim obi a obeba bia on fa ne trust en share ho na yen so enfili enje moto say the moto no e kan from ownership from hope to ownership. Nti wo ba se wo hope a wo ba ho a e be ma wo weni age inshallah. Yeah, I think said me wa me dey back am.
Inshallah, from hope to ownership. I like this one. Woman may make sense idea or change you be short to that. So from hope to ownership. I like this one. General manager, Nyamishra pa or Jumedia Woody and tense so bet manager what me a build this idea we say because said the onyan SC schedule no. So when you strong team I manager and Tanachia and Kadioshi now from US and Quebec. I tell you, that's the fact. My young Kase and Yano Crania that enti se enema we nyina ekoso na nei gyina eka AG Motors wa anyhow omusi map award emo drivers TV plasma nyina no me dey LCD TV nyina no mo de mo drivers just to encourage them to do what they are doing now. That means it's not common say obi beto TV say we and the driver keep doing what you are doing. Inti said the Emma Abena Piaka, great conversation. You see near comment or said this guys, thank guys for the information. Inti so far, Mr. Say, yeah, no, about more than I'm on Saka number near Dinkomo. Why? Because why the now the bar for Sikana account to the person or chamber now for 10 or 15 minutes beer. What the above encourage others, for that, yebeko ama ye penny a conclude bibi also de esi nti bisa na zero opay mu ne penny a wo fie
Boss. We yeah, me per se, me that was for, opportunity, with the my, and showcase this opportunity or platform no so. Yeah, me I dey make no say, this project, obi am fan ho shame. I know this platform was built, like for like farming. You only say me the holding me back, holding me back story. Yeah, the sika check farming more and yes ka kitwa, so but with this investment, at least we are farming kura bet me aka say okay, maybe me will farm manager bia or fear me tuanika. We bet me dedicate one machine kura say okay, me see akura me send this cause ko Ghana say me to me manager ka. Pragya no I bet me to your manager ka every month. So I'm what they know. Instead was like every month, train, when we say farming, so you are not guaranteed, farming or any challenges. But obia wouldn't know to honor the any month can there whether the farming is going on well or not. So utiminya one Pragya maybe war farm be of fear. Obetimagas okay, Pragya way and no me bet to me farm, me farm manager every month. Countries say, who are America now, who are German, you say, maybe every month, may send the $100 and €100, say, me kotua will be our Ghana. We know a more cash flow. So, me, I did America, you say, so if you can afford it there for whom shame, I know, say, in 1 year to come, you better have now, Ade no kura maybe a bebe kwa jet kura say ya manage Ghana. So me ade America no. Yeah. Because a person young corn big. So in the years to come, you be here, you be about more business plans yeah. So yeah, farming no na the way so afi mu kakra. So we, say yeah result to we no so in other side of businesses no be ka me down. Intimi so ade am de be ka hu no. And also onim say me de nu kasa na so man hu no da this first time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time my showman Tembiana no backstage.
Oba been da ku kura no backstage. Wo man no get nkwa. Meba beji loan or say minimum say oh ma loan or landing or meba beji.
Was a meeting come on.
Abusiafo yede jumadi neighbor and they say passive income in Ghana, how to invest in the Pragya and Aboboyaa transporting. One particular thing senior can say farming say a Pragya ni timi jine wiya. I think say omo de be call Aboboyaa, and then from the Aboboyaa that means say your farms ni nyina no be well sorted. Inti media they met can say do your diligence, call them and put everything in place. Say be udakura na say there say say bright kind or say madakura na eba be dem kodon na say sika na eba no every week bia at least about 900 there. Unya tumuna plus your principal na more than actually Treasure Bay in Rusa. Yeah, actually say Treasure Bay percentage na government demand say na in Ru. This one do your diligence. Na join this family tracking system management NBBA we Diaspora for this one the unsro say usika be the ebetonsu.
Yeah, na trust maminfa when maminfa when ka especially so person on journey more maybe more family or Kumasi, you are more than welcome. Ubeti me committee Jalil. Maybe they are auto moto no person on dine chiko na munko to moto because moto no register no udimu. Nipa no to ya we are now na my change of ownership. So in who Kumasi, who baby a who Ghana, in as who family, a person okay on bet check like where the source of the business, the person is charged, you are welcome. Bet me ako Kumasi, now ako share. Inti, ade a me person me fanka hunu.
Wow. I wish for Nyami Adma next week. Yene senior boss CEO Adwempa in Asia. Yene Adwempa in Asia. Si Adwempa Martin Kakakra. Intima mo make Nyami Adma next week. Ghana time 8:30. Say the every Friday biano. Nyame adom so a ye ne busuan bia ye video so a ye dey beba out. Enti so subscribe na wo mia all notifications so a you won't miss. Facebook page ye ho, ye TikTok ho, ye Instagram ho, other social media so but so far no keep we say ni ntona momo. Ye WhatsApp community ho a so no abre bia we keep on sharing ideas, knowledge and growing together. Building systems, and then you may see I say, Yami Aduma, you be share next week Friday.
Okay, bene.
Another video. Then I wish you for
Yeah, that's.
we imagine so now you did your own come just for 5 minutes be and sana Abiana senior boss comment crown sober. Video ni there me this year. Mr. Mo like it, mo share na mo into na mo. Don't be left behind. Building systems.